Joe's from Arknight, and we're going to talk about Prompto Argentum. He is the second hero that unlocks in Final Fantasy 15 New Empire. And unlike Noctis, who has a couple different objectives, Noctis can be kind of your general hero, Noctis can be kind of your economic hero, Noctis has just all over the board skills. Prompto is very specific. He solves a purpose, and he is completely dedicated to that purpose, and there's no question what he's for and what he does. But let's go through the basics. When you buy a pack that includes Prompto, and as far as I know, there is no other way to get him, you must buy some pack. You will now have the button to change hero, and it will look like this. And as long as your hero is currently in your base and not doing something else, you can freely just swap between them. So now I am Noctis, and it'll be just like I'm Noctis. I can change hero, and now I am Prompto. And that will put them into the last gear set they had, so you might want to use a hero just to flip gear, but that's kind of silly. And you can definitely switch heroes just for some perk. Like if you're going to build something, you become Noctis because he has a construction speed upgrade. You build the thing and then you switch right back. You can totally do that. You can switch over to Prompto just for the attack and then switch right back. That's fine. You really are kind of both at once, and the stats of your current hero apply globally, even if the hero is not there, with a few exceptions. But let's look at what Prompto does, and let's get deep into the skill tree. This is the point. If you didn't know, even though it should be pretty clear, this is right here. Skill bonus provides to your entire empire as long as your hero is not captured. So I take that to mean that if you buy these cavalry bonuses and these warrior attack bonuses and these mage attack bonuses, they apply globally, even if your hero is not with them. It says quite clearly, skills provide many boosts to your empire as long as your hero is not captured. But when your hero is captured, it is zeroed out entirely. But other things certainly only apply when the hero is with them, like the attack march speed only applies if he's there. And actually, honestly, these probably apply only when he's there too. But maybe the return speed always applies. It's really hard to know, but I don't think it's really that important. But from the top, Prompto is about attacking a city. He says right here, specialty attack and mobility. He is terrible on defense. He is terrible for taking the crystal. He is terrible for defending the crystal. He has no economic perks whatsoever. He does exactly one thing, and that is to attack cities and move quickly. So he has attack march speed. And what I do not like about the hero trees is you cannot click that button to show you line by line what they do. But I can give you some examples from context here. After putting 11 points into it, we're at 15% move speed. So, and they're now costing 19 AP each. So you can imagine each purchase of attack march speed is about 2%. And they jump up 2 or 3% sometimes. This next one's going to be 4%. But overall, 11 upgrades got me 15 speeds. Some are only 1, maybe 2%. So it's kind of subtle. Then you have your siege attack. All the attacks start to curve pretty dramatically. After 5 points in this, we're at 12%, and then it's going to be 3% next, and probably 4% next. A lot of these attack boosters, they curve, because if you're going to put a heavy investment in one thing, you want to really start feeling a payoff, and that's pretty standard. So you can raise your siege attack. That helps you break down walls, attack enemy cities. Then we have a cavalry attack. This hero, I specialized in cavalry just because I wanted a quick little strike force. So I put this in. But again, 21 points in, I'm at 36%. So if you divide those out, each purchase is less than 2% each, but the next one's going to be 3. So you're putting point after point after point for a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. It's nice and steady. But even after 21 points, they only cost 7 each. So this is a nice little, as much AP as you want to dump in, you get a little bit more bonuses. Pretty standard for attack bonuses. I would imagine, even though I don't really know how to compare them directly, this cavalry attack, warrior attack, and mage attack, it's probably exactly the same growth as Noctis. He has the same skills, and it's just an amount of investment. You put the investment in, you get slightly better troops. It's really not that dramatic. Here's where Noctis really shines, though, the right side. He has city assault armor. And armor is enormous in this game. And when you're attacking a city, the city has defensive armor, and that makes it really tough to attack them. Well, Prompto says when you're attacking the city, you get the armor too. Essentially, it's about the same strength as the defensive city bonuses, so they kind of break even. So at 8 points in, it's a 60% armor, and they're still cheap. There's no reason on earth not to max this at all times if you have Prompto. This is just like the purpose of the character. You're attacking a city and you don't want to blow up, so keep your men alive with armor. He then has a city assault HP. I've put 20 points into it. They're getting pretty dang expensive, but I have 77% health inflation. I can see not maxing this, but it's certainly an obvious place to put points in, especially those first few ranks when they're probably not so expensive. But this is a big point sink. It raises the health of your entire stack when attacking cities. So again, your hero can survive and walk away. That's huge. And then you have City Assault Attack. 26 points, getting pretty costly. You're at a 100% attack bonus when attacking a city. This is huge. It's possible I could have taken that same AP and I could have applied it to the attack types. Like if I had bought a bunch of mage points or a bunch of warrior points or a bunch of cavalry points, maybe I'd be at 100% that way. And so why put it on the city attack? But I would assume, one, you might want both, so you stack them. And two, it's just, this applies globally to everything in your army, not just your mages, not just your warriors. It'll apply to your mercenaries. It'll apply to absolutely everything. And this is probably more cost effective because it's the specialty of Prompto. He's got some weird talents in the middle that are just kind of placeholders. He's got March return speed. I skipped it. It didn't seem important to me. And he's got scout march speed, so your scouts go a little bit faster. Now, if this was like every 1 point added 30%, and your scouts can now be instant almost anywhere, I would have at least considered it. But you want me to put 9 AP in to have my scouts, which are already incredibly fast, go 3% faster? This feels like an oversight. Like, what a pathetic skill. It's a joke. It required you buy a couple points to get to this, but holy shit, I can't imagine anyone buying this. It's just idiotic. And then here you get a really, really nice line. I don't know if these had requirements. Since I've already bought them many times, I don't know what the original requirements were. But rally attack, not just your army, not just when you individually attack a person's city. So if you're a big guy and you want to crush some small guy, these will apply because you're hitting a city, but these won't. These are rally specific. But the flip side is also true. Every single person who joins your rally, they're all getting amplified as long as you're rallying. And I tried this, and I can't really confirm yet, but I don't see why, even if no one joins it, if you just are an individual and you rally one empire, you put it to 5 minutes, don't you get this bonus? Because now it's a rally? I bet you do. It adds 5 minutes to your attack time, but you would pick this bonus up. So it's pretty funny, but I think if you're playing Prompto and you're attacking an individual just one-on-one, you should still rally them. Add 5 minutes to your time and get your rally attack added on. Pretty sure it works. Because mechanically, it's a rally in every way it looks at. You're in a little airship on the map and all that. But with 18 points in, decently expensive, 72% inflation, this is gnarly. And the cool thing is, rally attack stacks with city attack, stacks with the actual soldier attack, and you're really, really cranking your attack. Rally march speed, same thing. Your rally march speed will stack with your overall march speed. And the rally march speed, this one, it troubles me. It says your war march speed is higher and your rally march speed is higher. Now, maybe I haven't tripped over what a war is, a war march versus a rally march, because we already know with the language that there are different types of marches. There are attack marches, and there are gathering marches, and there are troop tile marches, and there are all kinds of other things, and there's overall march speed. But generally, when you're attacking someone, it's your attack march, right? This isn't called war march. This is called attack march. So in the language, attack march and rally march are two different things, but they're clear. Now a third category has appeared, a war march. And I don't know what it is. I really don't. But it raises your rally march and your war march. And what I don't like about this is I figured the whole purpose of this is to increase the speed at which your allies get to your empire before the rally starts. So if you start, say, a 5-minute rally and somebody joins it and they're 45 minutes away, even when your 5 minutes are up, you're waiting for that guy another 40 minutes. That would have made this skill very good. If it sped up that 40 minutes that he's got to get to you, I'd be really impressed with this. But from what I've tested, it does not do that. He's not yours yet, and I could be completely wrong. It did not feel like the guys rallying to my base got 30% more speed. It's just once they get to me and the war rally actually starts to move to the enemy, then it gets the rally march speed. And that means to me, it's not very good. I don't even know why I raised this. I probably was under the impression that it's going to make an overall end of day speed up for the whole rally, but I got to 30%. I should be feeling it. I really should be feeling this, and I do not. So my personal consideration right now is that this is a waste of points. Rally attack is huge, and even march return speed, I only got 3%. Maybe there's some weird global thing about Prompto where his march returns are actually faster in the first place, and this just amplifies it. But I feel like Prompto's rally returns or march returns are fast. Maybe I was just paying more attention, but attack speed's great because you can attack over and over and over again, but I don't really recommend this march speed. Maybe my mind will be changed later, but the big thing about Prompto is that every one of his skills are so good, you don't have the points to mess around. This is the first thing you should drop. Keep your rally attack, drop your rally march speed. And then this, I think I have underrated this skill heavily. The next time I level him up, this is what I'm getting, absolutely. I'm finding a real problem attacking people that have Sentinel set, and they can get armor, and they get about 200% armor from being in a city. Then they get about 100% armor per piece of gear, and if they have 2 or 3 or 4 pieces of Sentinel gear, if it's purple or better, you add that stuff up, they're almost at 400, 500% armor, and their stuff's just not dying. And I realized, well, Prompto's got a solution to that. I'm shredding some of that armor, but when I really thought about it, they're gaining 400 to 500% armor, and I'm breaking 70 of it. I'm not making much of a dent. But if I had gotten this up to 15, 16 points, perhaps this curves. Perhaps this really, really decimates their armor. So I'm going to invest heavily in this soon. It's not very costly, but here you go. 9 points into it, it's at 73%. And I think the first point, I'm pretty sure, I think this line is like a reward for getting Noctis to a certain level. I'm pretty sure that first point was a 50% right off the bat. So no one should skip that first point. But it's looking to me like, since armor is so critical and Noctis has a special ability to pierce it, this is going to be big. And I'll tell you why I also have a second reason to think that. At 50, a rally time reduction. I don't know what this might be, because the rally time officially is when you pick off the list. Do you want it to be 5%, or 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 8 hours. You pick that rally time based on the needs of your entire team to invest points, a hell of a lot of points, to lowering the rally start time by 5%. I'm scratching my head. Does that mean my 5-minute rally will go to 4 minutes and 50 seconds? It doesn't seem good. That seems really terrible. But perhaps this, reducing your rally start time, actually speeds up all those empires and getting to your empire in the first place, the thing that I attributed to the rally march speed. If it did that, then I kind of go, oh, okay, that's got a purpose again. But again, this seemed a little effective cost-wise. To pay 100 AP to get a 5% rally start, I don't know. I haven't unlocked it yet, but this is fishy. This is fishy in every way. I don't get it. Part of me thinks there's either some secret here that I'm not figuring out, or this is absolutely terrible. Then at 70, we have the all march speed. All march is pretty rare because it happens globally. It saves you time globally. But again, unless this is real cheap and this curves real well, doesn't matter. It's probably going to be another 10, 15% march speed with a decent amount of investment. If you dump 50 points into this and you get 15% march speed, you're great. Okay, cool. But if it's not real good, I don't know. Max at 50. And maybe in the late game, speed is king, and that's why these things exist. Nobody can be faster than Prompto. I can see that. Then we have a couple pair. Level 80, level 90. Juggernaut HP, Juggernaut Attack. These have a max of 800%. They're not costly to start, but they have a super high level requirement, and they're going to raise the power of your Juggernauts. I can't evaluate this because on our server, we have no mercenaries yet, so I'm not sure what a Juggernaut is in the first place, and I'm not the high enough level for this, but I think it's pretty obvious. Juggernauts will be very good, and Prompto can make his Juggernauts even better, and he can specialize on having a Juggernaut army, and I think it's pretty clear. Juggernauts will be a unit that get an advantage when attacking a city. I think it's all obvious. I get the point. I just don't know yet how good these are. Is buying Juggernauts and investing in Juggernaut bonuses better than just raising your overall rally attack and just getting all of your troops to be stronger? That's a much harder question to answer. But the other path is you've already got rally attack and you've already got city assault, armor, and damage. Well, now you're getting more HP and more assault as long as you're rallying and going against the city, which again, of course, you would be. But again, it's one more HP bonus and it's one more stacking defense bonus. And this is a case where, look at this, the first level, 50% health, max of 500% health. I think this is probably one of the more insane boosters the game has ever put into the mechanics. And that's why this is something where, if you can get a late game Prompto, you have really, really health heavy troops. And the same thing with the attack. First point, 50% attack. This is probably huge. These are probably huge. Again, how good must the Juggernaut upgrades be if they're competing for points with these? Unless there's some trick where you bank all your AP and then you reset Prompto when you get them to level 90 and then you just buy these and you don't buy the previous stuff. I don't know. And the final, this is that second tip that I have, that this armor piercing is going to be fantastic. This increases the armor piercing ability of your troops. We've never heard of armor piercing anywhere else. It's clear that it reduces their armor, and there are some fundamental ways to get high armor. If you can nullify all of that, then they have no defenses. And right here, armor shredding reduces the enemy's total armor by 20%. More armor reduction and more to make something the level 100 perk of a hero means you need to pay attention to it. If armor shredding is so important to make it to level 100, it's got to be really, really good. And based on that logic, you better not neglect armor piercing because it's also armor shredding. But if you look at the wording, increases the armor piercing ability of your troops and traps by 73%. This probably lowers their army by 73%. So if they have 400, now they have 327. This says reduce the enemy's armor by 20%. This, I can almost guarantee you, is a static 20% shave off the top. So if they had 1,000 armor, they've now lost 200% armor in one pickup. And that's huge. That's huge. So clearly, we know what Prompto does. He's actually a very straightforward hero. Titty McGee with some flavor text. But you know what Prompto does, and he attacks cities. And great hero, just great hero. Before Prompto unlocked on a new realm, we were about 60 days into the realm, and no one who was level, I would say Citadel 21, 20 or higher, could be attacked feasibly. I had a Citadel 30 army with basically unlimited resources, but if a guy wants to sit in his 20-plus city with all the crazy city defense bonuses and hundreds of thousands of men, you cannot break him. You just can't do it. And Prompto comes along and says, hey, this is what you've been waiting for. I can break him. It's still tough if they want to get real strong. I have another video of, we tried to show you what Prompto could do against a Citadel 28 that had over 500,000 Tier 3 warriors and Sentinel gear. And we saw that even Prompto can't get through that. But it wasn't a clear-cut victory. It was almost a 1-2 loss, which if you have the economic superiority, you can pound them into the dirt at a 1-2 loss. So Prompto is amazing. As far as I'm concerned, I have not seen a game like this where someone comes along and has one purpose, which Prompto does, and that one purpose is so cleanly realized. Everything about Prompto is beautiful. Every skill he's got, you want it. And you don't feel like you got what you want, but you had to go through a lot of junk. It's really funny. The only junk is a couple of these things in the middle, and you're basically allowed to skip them. So I'm very happy with Prompto. Very, very happy. I give him, from what I've seen in the game so far, I definitely give him full marks. Noctis is cool, but Prompto gets the damn job done.